I'm Judy Auble. I'm the sales manager for Toklat Originals. This is a video that will give you an overview of the T3 saddle pad system by Toklat. During the course of the video, watch for 3 different promotional codes. At the end of the video, write down the codes and contact customer service to find out how you can qualify for a demonstration kit of any one of our T3 saddle pads. T3 stands for Technology Transforming Tradition. This is a concept that evolved during the development of our new saddle pad line called Matrix. In a nutshell, T3 refers to the use of the most current and up-to-date research in technology as applied to saddle pads. The goal of T3 is to create a saddle pad that not only protects the horse, but also supports his muscle development and provides better performance. There are 4 main factors to consider when developing saddle pads: ergonomic design, impact protection, moisture management, and pressure relief. Ergonomic design refers to a saddle pad that actually works with a horse's skeletal and physiological structure. Impact protection refers to the concussion that a horse experiences under the saddle from the weight of the saddle and the rider. Moisture management is the accumulation of moisture under the saddle and the pad and the removal of that moisture to release heat. And pressure relief is taking the steady weight of the saddle and the rider and distributing it evenly to avoid concentrated pressure points. The first factor to consider when we developed the T3 saddle pads was the ergonomic design. A lot of saddle pads are actually designed to fit saddles rather than horses. So our Matrix saddle pads represent our most ergonomic design. The elongated front on this half pad actually follows the contour of the shoulder rather than bisecting it the way a traditional half pad would. That gives the horse much better range of motion and freedom for the shoulder to move. In the classic 3 quilted pad line, where the inserts are actually built into the saddle pad, we've imitated that same ergonomic design by going down the shoulder more, rather than contouring here, where again you bisect the muscle. The ergonomic design is key to the proper performance of any saddle pad. The second really critical factor to saddle pads is moisture management. So removing moisture from a horse's back is important because moisture acts as an insulating layer. It'll retain heat just as easily as any heavy material would. So it's important to make sure that moisture can move rapidly and efficiently away from your horse's back. In developing the T3 saddle pads, we've used really high-tech materials that allow that very thing to happen. In the Matrix half pads, we've used a fabric called ETC on the top. It's a very breathable, wickable, anti-slip fabric. And on Classic 3, we've used ETC on both the bottom, and you also have the option of using stay-dry fleece on the bottom. For moisture management, we've found some very high-tech materials that really allow moisture to move away from the horse's back rapidly. One of the most important materials we've used is called ETC. It's a very lightweight, breathable, wickable, but durable fabric, highly abrasion resistant, and it has an anti-slip feature as well. This material is used on the top of Matrix saddle pads and also on the bottom of Classic 3 saddle pads. And its purpose is to allow the saddle pad to sit firmly in place, but at the same time allow it to breathe and wick moisture very rapidly. The second fabric that we found for moisture management is called Bucas Stay-Dry Fleece. This fabric we use on the bottom of Classic 3 quilted saddle pads. Bucas Stay-Dry Fleece is a really rapid moisture-moving fabric. This makes sure that moisture moves rapidly away from the horse's back. The third most important factor in saddle pads is impact protection. Impact protection refers to the concentrated weight of the saddle and the rider hitting the horse's back. What the bounce test tells you is how much energy the material is absorbing when the ball hits it. The more the ball bounces, the less energy the material is absorbing. If you can imagine that you are the ball hitting the saddle, then the energy that you see on a ball that bounces is energy that's bouncing back on you as the rider. The less the ball bounces, the more energy the material is absorbing. Impact and concussion are probably the #1 cause of osteoarthritis in horses and responsible for a lot of skeletal conditions like kissing spine. So it's really important that the saddle pad actually absorbs the energy of impact and disperses it in a way that protects the horse's back. We offer several inserts, and the inserts are really designed for impact protection. They're not corrective and they're not risers. They're strictly there to absorb the energy from impact of the saddle and the rider hitting the horse's back. The first, and probably the most unique insert, is called Pro Impact. Pro Impact refers to this yellow high-density foam called Poron XRD. Part1 XRD is a new technology that was developed about 2 years ago, primarily for football and hockey protection equipment. Its entire purpose in life is to absorb 90% of the energy from impact and disperse it in a way that protects the surface beneath it. This insert is 5 millimeters thick, and it is perfectly adequate to absorb the weight of the rider in the saddle hitting the horse's back for English riding. Not only is it very light, it's perforated for breathability, making it one of the few high-density foams that actually is truly breathable with air passing through it rapidly. The shape of the insert depends on the style of saddle pad that it's put into. One of the benefits to being ultra-thin is this insert will not interfere with saddle fit. If your business includes saddle fitting and flocking, this is a perfect insert for your customer. As a companion to the Pro Impact insert, this is the Extreme Pro Impact. The only difference between the Pro Impact and the Extreme Pro Impact is the thickness. Because Part1 XRD works on a weight ratio balance, the thinner insert works very well for English riding, but over long periods of riding, as found in endurance riding, a thicker insert will absorb energy more efficiently. So this half-inch insert has been developed for endurance and is now also being incorporated into the Matrix half pads for English. If you have a heavier saddle or a larger rider, such as men, this insert will work better than the regular Pro Impact. The Pro Impact insert is perfect for riders with a well-fitted saddle or a horse that's in top physical condition. If your horse has asymmetrical muscle development, has some kind of back issue, or needs to balance the saddle a little bit more, the Ortho Impact is probably more suitable. The Ortho Impact is a layer of Part1 XRD bonded to a layer of medium density viscoelastic. The viscoelastic is medium density. It will actually allow impressions to form and then recover quite rapidly. The effect of bonding these two materials together is to create an insert that not only protects the horse from concussion, but also allows the saddle to settle into the medium density visco, stabilizing it and filling any mild deficits that the saddle may have or that the horse's back may have. This insert is called Low Impact. It's a 1-inch viscoelastic foam. What it's best used for is actually building the top line of a horse, either from an injury or from a young horse that's never been saddled before, where muscle actually has to recover. When you put a saddle and a pad on a horse's back, you create a rigid surface against muscle, and the muscle has difficulty flexing against that rigid surface. What the 1-inch viscoelastic low-impact foam does is give the muscle a soft place to flex. It allows the saddle to settle completely into the foam and balances it naturally from front to back. It absorbs the concussion of the saddle and the rider because it's 1 inch thick, but it doesn't release heat nearly as rapidly as the Pro Impact or the Ortho. So our recommendation is to use this for recovering muscle, but once the muscle is well under development, switch to Pro Impact or Ortho Impact when necessary. The family of impact protection inserts are really not designed to accommodate saddle fitting. They're really designed purely to protect the horse from the impact of the saddle and the rider. Choose the insert that your customer needs based on the horse's needs first, and then the rider's needs second. Choose the Pro Impact for pure concussion protection. Choose the Ortho Impact for concussion protection with added back protection and stability. And choose the Low Impact if you need to actually build top line and recover muscle.